Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of CryptoVisor, where we talk about everything cryptocurrency, blockchain, investing, and of course, other news in the finance space. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. Today, we are talking about Cardano on the road to Goguen smart contracts. We're going to get into all of that. The Cardano 360 podcast, whatever you want to call it, live stream that occurred at the end of March, basically laid the groundwork and set out a timeline map for when Goguen smart contracts is going to be fully launched. As many of you guys know, there have been 2 phases already deployed for Goguen. We're moving towards that third and final phase, which has now been deemed Alonzo. Today's video is sponsored by Curry on Crypto Stake Pool. If you're holding ADA in the Cardano ecosystem, look no further than Curry on Crypto Stake Pool. Curry Pool's mission is to educate young adults in inner cities on financial literacy and how Cardano can help them build generational wealth. And you guys know and remember a little bit about Curry on Crypto. You can also check out their website, curryoncrypto.com. And they also have a Twitter page, Curry on Crypto. All of their links will be down below in the description. The delegator count, you guys are definitely starting to delegate over to them. Over 50 blocks since they started the pool in mid-October. In the last 30 days, over 5% return on ADA. And also remember that Curry on Crypto received a 3.2 million ADA delegation from IO Global for 3 months to help them start producing blocks, build their pool up. So check them out. All of their links are down below in the description. And thanks to Curry on Crypto for sponsoring the CryptoVisor content right here on this channel. So if you guys have been following the CryptoVisor right here for a while, if not, don't forget to hit subscribe. I upload daily videos. We have been waiting for Goguen for well over 3 years, but really, I would say the last year or 2. I remember I went to Bulgaria in 2019 for the 2nd anniversary of Cardano, and we were supposed to get Goguen by the end of that year, and here we are 2 years later, and we are finally, right, at the end stages before deployment of this new technology. New smart contract rollout plan is introduced by Cardano. Charles Hoskinson revealed through his over 3-hour event that there is a rollout plan for the Alonzo hard fork. This hard fork will allow the 4th largest blockchain in the world, Cardano, to have smart contract capabilities. Now, by the way, just as a disclaimer, they spelt Alonzo wrong in the whole article. It's Alonzo. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The presented roadmap on the event showed that Alonzo's testnet could be live and ready as early as just next month, meaning April or May, while developers being capable of deploying smart contracts on the testnet for the first time in Cardano's history. These developers will be capable of doing everything from DEXs or decentralized exchanges to dApps or decentralized apps to DeFi or decentralized finance protocols in general. The so-called Pioneers testnet scheduled to take place somewhere at the end of April or at the start of May already boasts a total of 1,300 individuals applying to be part of it, according to Hoskinson. Following this plan, a code freeze will start around June, which will be after a few months of testing. This in turn would start the clock for the hard fork for the main net and introduce smart contracts to Cardano at large. Now, if you've been following the project for a while, you know that a lot of this has kind of been leading up for a while, right? If you guys are new to the Cardano ecosystem, you guys are probably not going to like what I have to say, but part of the biggest issue that people have with the Cardano blockchain, it seems to me, besides personal issues, right, with Charles or his team or whatever, besides that, most of it is about the delay of implementation of features, right? So I've been, again, following the project. I've had this channel since 2018. You guys can go all the way back to my 2018, 2019, 2020 videos, right? We're on year, what, 4 now? 3 of recording every single day. And we talked about Gauguin in the past, and that was the biggest issue, right? So Alonzo just came about last year, right? It wasn't like Alonzo was part of the deal for years, right? And that's okay. But this is the biggest gripe, and I've already seen like articles being written. That's why I chose this article, even though it has like spelling mistakes. But the other articles were like, timelines missed, this and that. Listen, I am not a developer and I am not an engineer. So I have no idea how long it would take to code like just even minor changes in like wallet functionality or crypto exchange functionality or whatever. And we have to remember now, as Cardano is getting implemented in more infrastructure like Coinbase, like Grayscale, like Binance, Bittrex, right? All of these, plus all of the native wallets, right? Ledger, Trezor, Daedalus, Yoroi, Adalite, all of these wallets have to be updated every single time anything changes on the network, right? So that can be cumbersome, time-consuming, and stuff like that. And we heard a little bit about that from Charles when he was talking about the timeline, but I kind of wanted to address that because there are definitely going to be some people in the Cardano ecosystem that are like, we were supposed to get it by March, including myself. I definitely said that last month. But, in the grand scheme of things, right, a few more months, it is what it is. Like I tell you guys, this is not just Cardano. Ethereum, if people think that proof of stake is coming by the end of this year, it is not. It is definitely not. Guys, they have been talking about sharding since 2017. That's longer than Cardano has been talking about, Coinbase, right? Or the community has been talking about Coinbase, or Cardano has been talking about Gauguin, right? So it's not just Cardano. Ethereum has a ton of delays. I would say like the only major blockchain that doesn't is probably Binance, just because they have probably the most resources for any crypto or blockchain project in the world. So yeah, Litecoin has delays, Chainlink has delays. I mean, all of the major projects have delays. But anyway, this is what everything looks like, right? So the Alonzo, node should be ready in April, which we're basically in April. I'm recording this at the end of March, right? And then the full Alonzo node API and CLI and integrate the Alonzo node. So this is when the Pioneer testnet will begin. So they're starting with the private testnet when the Alonzo node starts. This is just, I guess, IOHK engineers making sure everything is working properly at a very basic level. And then the Pioneers testnet, remember they did this with, I think, Shelly. With like they had pioneers testing it out. These were high level like stake pool operators and stuff who have been involved in the project for a while. They worked with the engineers at IO Global, Emerco, whatever, to make sure everything was working before obviously prime time. As I've been saying to you guys, right, smart contracts have to be done right. We have seen smart contract situations in the DeFi ecosystem where there have been exploits of, millions of dollars because of small little errors or issues in the code. So they do need to test these things out. So obviously private testnet for about a month or so, then the Pioneer testnet, and then July is basically around the time that they said that everything was coming. I think I had the quote here. If not, maybe I have it in another article. I do. I got to pull the other article up in another video. I thought I pulled it up here. So this was the other article. It said Hoskinson was talking about possible delays. He said if our partners like Binance and Coinbase want to make several updates before we put Alonzo hard fork on the main net, we will wait for at least 4 weeks. And essentially what Charles said in the Cardano 360 episode, from my recollection, and again, I watched most of what Charles said, but yeah, he was basically saying that like the exchanges may need a little bit of extra time, which may delay it a little bit more. So it looks, right now at least, it looks like it's going to be a hard fork probably in Q3. As I tell you guys, expect delays. That way you're not disappointed, right? Because if you're not expecting delays, you will be disappointed if there are delays. But if you're expecting a delay and there are no delays, you'll be a little bit happier, right? So it looks like July, right? Maybe August, right? So that's the end of Q2, early Q3, maybe even end of Q3, whatever, it's coming. That's the bottom line. That's the main point in my view. I know that there's going to be a lot of people that don't agree with me. We're going to say, but CryptoVisor, you're just saying that because Charles called you out. If any of you guys watch my videos, you know that I try to give you guys my unbiased, neutral opinion on the situation, and none of that has to do with Charles calling me out, okay? The other thing to keep in mind is since Coinbase was listed, and I told you guys to keep an eye on this live stake number, when Coinbase made the announcement about the listing, like a few days before the actual trading began for Cardano, the live stake percent was 70.2%. Once they started trading, the number went down to 70.1%. And I said to you guys, keep your eye on this number, because if we drop below 70%, that means to me, right? Again, these are my thoughts, my opinions, obviously not financial advice. Do your own research. But I said, if it goes under 70%, that would tell me that there are people who are staking, right? Active participants of the network who are staking, who are probably pulling some profits, probably some stake pool operators pulling profits. But that did not happen. We went from 70.2 to 70.1, and now we're at 70.8, a little over 1 week after full trading started on Coinbase with Cardano. To me, this is very, very bullish. Now, people are going to ask why. Even if there are speculators in this 70.8% of the network, right? This is a very small percentage of the actual network. I have been watching this with you guys, right? Especially if you've been on my channel, since Shelly started in the middle of 2020 when staking was deployed on the main net. We saw this number. I mean, I think when staking first started, it was like 40% of the network, or 30. It was a large chunk from what I thought. I mean, 10 billion ADA. I think that was the first like month. 10 billion ADA on the network. And within 6 months, we went from 10 billion at launch to where we are now, right? About 70%, because in December it was around 70% as well. January is around 71%, 72%. That's a huge amount of the network. I don't think that's a lot of speculators, right? Because speculators are looking for yield, right? It's like yield farming. So they can get higher rewards, right? The average reward is it's like over 4.5%, right? Anything over 4.5% on the 1 month is pretty good, and anything over, I would say, 4% on the lifetime is good. Obviously, some have really high, ridiculous numbers. But if we look at the big performing pools, yeah, they're all over 4%. Curry on cryptos over 4.5%. Return on ADA in 30 days is over 5%, right? So if like these speculators were just looking for yield, they would be loaning they would just put it into Tether and then loan it out for 11 or 12% on some of these trading platforms, or just put it in Algorand on Coinbase for 6%. That's why I don't think that this is speculators or just people who are looking to make money, because I feel like they would have already unstaked, and they probably would have already unstaked and moved their coins to Coinbase if they were planning on selling or speculating. And that's not what we're seeing here. So that is very bullish in my view. And again, this is the largest staking network in the world not by percentage. I think Tezos has a little bit more in terms of percent of the network, but in terms of value, right? It's like almost $30 billion worth of value is staked on the Cardano network right now, right? So that is very bullish to me, right? There's only 30% of circulating supply that's not being staked. To me, that means unlocked. I know a lot of you are going to be like, CryptoVisor, it's not really locked up in staking. I get it. I totally get it. But you guys understand what I mean, right? This is a metric that we can use to understand what's going on in the crypto sphere with people's coins, right? Because you don't really get this kind of data with other blockchains that are not staking. Bitcoin, we don't know how much actual Bitcoin is, is accessible. We know what's been dormant, right? Because we can see that on-chain data. But we don't know if if a wallet's been dormant for 5 years, we don't know if it's inaccessible or it just hasn't been accessed. Where in Cardano, like I can tell you today, at least 70% of the network is accessible currently. And currently being accessed. And that number continues to rise because if we go to the analysis and click insights on adapools.org, we can also see daily transactions. Guys, this is, I hope you guys understand like how this data should be able to tell you where this network is going. You can see since the network started, let's just say after 2018, right? After the bull run, pretty much there was the same daily average transactions, right? It may have increased a little bit here and there, but it wasn't significant growth. Since end of January, which I would assume that was when they started to integrate Cardano into Coinbase or started to build the infrastructure for Coinbase, look at the sustained daily transaction volume. And this is something that we've been going over recently as well. You can also see that on the latest blocks. If you click more right here, this is on the main main dashboard on ADPools. You can see this column right here is how many transactions per block or per slot. You can see that this is, high single digits or double digits. And when we were analyzing the network back in December and November, this was single digit transactions. So there's a lot more activity on the Cardano network that's consistent. And this is going to bring value. Imagine when we get into triple digits of transactions per block or quadruple digits. I mean, that is very, very important. I want you guys to understand each of these slots or blocks, whatever you want to call them, are seconds, right? You could see certain times there's 4 or 5 blocks or slots per minute. So this is significantly faster than the Bitcoin network. I mean, if you send a transaction with ADA, you can see it within, a couple minutes. Bitcoin, it's going to take quite a time, a significant time longer, I would actually probably say. And Ethereum, the same thing. And you would probably pay very high gas fees as well. So there is a lot of exciting stuff already going on within the Cardano ecosystem. We have a lot of exciting stuff that is coming to the Cardano ecosystem this year, right? I cannot see with this timeline that they're putting out here, Goguen not launching in 2021. I cannot see it. Because even with delays, right, that would still put 6 months buffer till the end of 2021. And I just saw something else about Ethereum 2 being delayed a little bit longer. So like I said, like some of these delays may be happening in concert, right? All of these crypto projects have the same type of delays, same type of timelines and projections, right? To me, this type of news, right? Oh, we've deployed smart contracts. That would be awesome in the middle of a bull cycle, right? Where we're on an upward trajectory. Well, I mean, we are already, in my view, on an upward trajectory, not financial advice. But you guys understand what I'm saying. Like if we started getting to $2, $3 and then they're like, boom, smart contracts deployed. I mean, think about where the price could potentially go. Now, again, please, guys, do your own research. Make sure you understand the risks involved, because as much as we can go to 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even $10, we could also go back down to 5 cents or 10 cents. So you guys have to make sure that you understand the risks involved. There is a lot of risks. I tell you guys all the time, diversify portfolios. I know a lot of you guys in the comments are like, but CryptoVisor, I'm 100% in ADA. And I'm like, oh my God, that makes me nervous for you, right? I am not 100% in ADA. It is not my largest position. And I think that that's important for everybody, right? Even some of these people that I watch on YouTube, like in the stock market, they're like, oh yeah, 75% of my portfolio is in Tesla. I'm like, I'm not saying Tesla's not going to keep going up or that it doesn't have this value, right? But it's been going just vertical for a year. Like, I would be cautious. But I am very excited to see the future of Cardano. One of the things about following this project for so many years is you've seen the ups, you've seen the downs, but one thing that is true about Cardano that I don't think is true about many other projects is that there is a really large team of engineers, of developers, of stake pool operators that are committed to making this work. I speak with a lot of people in the Cardano ecosystem, outside the Cardano ecosystem, in the investment community. And one thing I could tell you guys is these engineers know what the hell is up and they know what is going on, and it's not like they don't talk with Ethereum developers. Like, you guys have to understand, like, they all talk, right? All of the engineers for the different projects talk with one another. A lot of investors from different projects talk with one another. I talk with investors from other projects who know people from other projects and stuff like that. So there is a lot going on, and I'm just so excited and bullish about overall crypto. But like I've said before, Cardano with the IO Global team behind it, Ethereum doesn't have that. Ethereum's like developers and development teams are decentralized all over the world, have different views on things. It's a very different business model. And I'm not saying that Ethereum's not going to work out. I just think that Cardano has a lot more short and medium term successes coming its way over where Ethereum, because Ethereum is just, it's such a beast right now, and they have to upgrade it, and they have to convert people from proof of work to proof of stake, which is already, you guys see with the EIP 1559 and all of these fee issues, it's already becoming a situation. And imagine the larger it grows and the more money that's behind Ethereum, right? Cardano is still malleable, and Cardano is still adjusting as they go along. So as we're moving through these test phases, there's still maybe more integrations and more interoperability and more cross-chain bridges and stuff like that that are coming. I don't know. I'm just really excited about everything that's happening in the Cardano ecosystem, and I know most of you guys are as well. Don't forget to check out today's sponsor, Curry on Crypto, one of the stake pools whose mission is to educate young adults in inner cities on financial literacy and how Cardano can help them build generational wealth. And you guys know the largest crypto developer for Cardano, the main one, IO Global, has delegated 3.2 million ADA to Curry on Crypto. And to me, that's a big vote of confidence. And Curry on Crypto also has 1 million ADA pledge to show you guys they have skin in the game and they are in this for the long term and to be part of the overall Cardano ecosystem and community. So check them out. All of their